Access. I'm your host, MJ Acosta-Talib. Here is tonight's starting roster. David Carr, Michael Robinson, and Mr. Upset himself. Yep, James Jones is here too. Now, for those of you frantically checking your fantasy rosters, we've got your starts and sits. Don't you worry. Our special guest on this Friday, the sack master himself, TJ Watt. But we'll start with what everyone wants to know: who's in and who's out. Tom Pelissero keeping track of every bit of news, every injury here. We're expecting to see Drew on Sunday. What's going on with Drew Brees, Tom?
MJ, Drew Brees will return to the lineup and start on Sunday against the Chiefs, a little over a month after he suffered fractured ribs and a punctured lung. Brees returned to practice this week. Coach Sean Payton said he looks good and he feels good. Brees will not have his best receiver, though. Wide receiver Michael Thomas ruled out for this game because of an ankle injury. I'm told this is not a new injury for Thomas, the same ankle he's been dealing with for a while now. They want to try to get him healthy and ready for the stretch run. Elsewhere, Washington quarterback Alex Smith ruled out for Sunday against the Seahawks. Washington had been optimistic. That strained calf just didn't come around. So it will be Dwayne Haskins getting his first start since week 4. Running back Antonio Gibson also not expected to go. He's listed as doubtful because of turf toe. Lions quarterback Matthew Stafford listed as questionable for Sunday against the Titans. Stafford practiced on an extremely limited basis today for the first time since he broke off a piece of his rib cartilage last week. Interim coach Darrell Bevell said, though, Stafford will make the trip to Tennessee. He's an extremely tough guy. They want to give him a chance. If he can't go, it will be backup Chase Daniel. And as for Giants quarterback Daniel Jones, he also listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Browns because of a hamstring and an ankle injury. Jones listed as limited in practice all week. They're also going to give him a chance, but it was backup Colt McCoy getting the first rep with the starters today in practice, a sign he may be in line to get the start. Also, a late addition to the injury report, MJ, tight end Evan Ingram listed as questionable because of a calf injury.
Tom, this list is daunting. Just one of the reasons why we appreciate you taking care of it every single show. Tom, thanks. All right, let's take a look at some other notable injuries here. Some fantasy factors for all of you. Ezekiel Elliott and Melvin Gordon, both questionable. Christian McCaffrey, he's doubtful. Meantime, Julio Jones, Deebo Samuel, they are out for week 15. Time now to get you to our Total Access game of the week. Roll it.
Every single play except the challenge.
I want to see how good we can be today.
Play action fake. Mahomes goes right sideline. Tyreek Hill over the shoulder. Touchdown.
Kamara towards the front pylon and touchdown.
That ball made in the lab.
Are you not entertained?
Just let me go.
You want to talk about a signature play? Good Lord.
Touchdown. Kansas City.
With a stiff arm, throws a man down.
Let me go.
Okay, so here's the deal. The Chiefs can clinch AFC home field advantage with a win versus the Saints, plus a Steelers loss and a Bills loss. As for the Saints, they've already clinched a playoff berth. To clinch the NFC South, they need to beat the Chiefs or have the Bucs drop their game versus the Falcons on Sunday. Let's welcome in David Carr. All right, David, Drew Brees missed 4 games with that injury that Tom was talking about. Now, you've dealt with a rib injury yourself. An image, he painted this for me, that I will never be able to unsee in my imagination. Not fun to deal with there. But now, on track to start here. Give us 3 ways Brees can impact this game.
Okay, so I think the first thing that you miss when you don't have a guy like Drew Brees out there is command at the line of scrimmage. I think that's number one. Is he's going to come back in, he's going to have Sean Payton, and he's an extension of that on the field. He'll be able to get you in the right play, get you out of a bad play, and that's important when you play against Kansas City. Now, Taysom Hill brought some dynamic things in the run game, but I think that's the number one thing. The number 2 thing is very important. Utilize your matchups, and I'll show you on the film here what I mean by this. A lot of teams can run the ball and keep the ball away from the Chiefs. I think they use Kamara out of the backfield. Look, they're trying to double him with Mack and a safety. He still beats the double team and ends up catching this ball over the middle of the field. And this is as good as the run game. You don't necessarily have to run for 8, 12 yards a carry. You can just use Alvin in these scenarios to make short, efficient passes. And look what it gets you. Big chunk play. Oh, and by the way, you can put him in the backfield maybe make them think you're going to run it. They'll play some man coverage. You get out there in a slot formation, and now you can do whatever you want. You got a single high safety in the middle of the field. Drew's going to hold him, and now you got Alvin, who's going to get kind of a pick. We're not going to say rub or an illegal screen. It's illegal, but they're still going to utilize this down the field, and Alvin's good enough in the slot to start at receiver for a lot of teams. He's a good running back, and then the last way is situationally. This is very important. You're playing a team that you can't give the football to at the end of the game when it's a chance to win, because we've seen what Pat Mahomes can do. He's going to win the game. Now, Drew and Sean have been through this a ton. They get it. They know situational football. They'll be able to figure out the math, when to kick, where to go for it, when is it advantageous for us to be aggressive and to pull back a little bit. So those are the three things you get with Drew Brees. It's going to be fun to see him get back out there with this team. It's going to be a great football game.
David, before we pick this game, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, can you just tell us how difficult it is to come back from a rib injury like that from your own experience?
Well, it's just extremely uncomfortable, and we were talking earlier about it and how I still have lingering effects from it. I can't surf. I can't lay down on my stomach on like a piece of fiberglass because it's painful. So throwing a football, even when you're healthy and you're back where Drew is now, it's still very uncomfortable. So if he gets hit there as he goes to throw on the release, it's uncomfortable, it's painful. So that's constantly there, and that's something you don't want to have to deal with, but he's going to have to deal with that probably for the remainder of the season.
With that said, who is winning this game? Who you got?
I still like the Chiefs. I think that it's going to be 35-31. All those things that I laid out, that's the way you can beat them. Only one team has done it in the last year, and I don't know if the Saints can do it. It's going to be a great football game, but they just have too much.
Yeah, our scores are actually really similar. I also have the Chiefs 36-32, so we were only off by one, and I think it will be very close, but I think the Chiefs and their offensive power is going to be a little bit too much. All right, David, thanks. Okay, I can't even believe I'm saying this right now, but the Patriots could be eliminated from the playoffs with a loss to the Dolphins on Sunday. New England has not missed the playoffs since 2008. That was the year Tom Brady tore his ACL. So it's time now for the bucket list presented by KFC. Michael Robinson, James Jones with me now. Guys, over a decade of playoff appearances there for the Patriots. And listen, we all know that rookie QBs, they just don't fare well against Bill Belichick. The last time a rookie QB beat him was in 2013. It's been a minute. So, Rob, what's Belichick's plan here against Tua?
7-21 rookie quarterbacks are against Bill Belichick is against rookie quarterbacks. And first and foremost, what he does is he makes these guys think. He messes up their thought process by providing pressure, especially with his front four defensive linemen. You look at this play right here, it's only four defensive rushers coming after Tua. But if you let Tua sit back there too long, he will find a way to diagnose your defense. But you see right here, you hear the red alert right here. You find a way. You pick the weakness in the offensive line right here. You look at the weakness was Austin Jackson, the left tackle. You find a weakness in the offensive line and find a way to provide some type of pressure to Tua. You look at right here. He gets beat right in the inside part of the pocket. That way Tua cannot look downfield and find some open receivers downfield. This is what Bill Belichick does a great job of, creating the pressure, dropping 7, rushing 4, creating the pressure. Now, if you give Tua a lot of time, he's had 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. When you give him a lot of time to look down the football field, I expect Bill Belichick to do something up front to provide a little bit of pressure to force some mistakes from Tua Tagovailoa.
You're absolutely right, Mike Rob. This is going to be a very good football game, division matchup, but you better believe Bill Belichick watched the tape, and he is going to bring all that at Tua and some more. That is what he does, and he's going to make him think and be able to get frustrated and try to find these guys wide open, and he has guys that could cover on the back end to be able to hold on if you want to bring some pressures. But listen, what I'm looking for in this game, I am looking forward to watching Cam Newton, because I truly believe that this stretch of games for Cam Newton is make or break. You are either going to be a starter in our league next year by the way you show people you can play and they feel like they can build around you, or you are going to be a backup if you go out here and continue to play the way that you've been playing the last couple games. Cam Newton has to show up, number one, if the Patriots are going to win this game. But Cam Newton has to show up for Cam Newton if Cam Newton wants to be a starting quarterback in this league. Now, we all know that this game is win or go home. And if they don't win, it's going to be because of number one, and that's Cam Newton. But I think this last 4-game stretch is huge for Cam Newton's career.
All right, Rob, I'm seeing that you're feeling some type of way. So who wins this one, Patriots or Dolphins?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins winning this one 17-14. I think just too much Miami Dolphins defense. But the reason why you say I felt a certain type of way about Cam Newton is because the result that what's going on with the New England Patriots offense, to me, is not all Cam Newton. I mean, there's not many people that can win with those weapons out there, James. You and I, we've been retired. We could go out to New England and be their top receivers. I could be the top runner. You could be the top receiver, big dog. So at the end of the day, there's not a lot of weapons for Cam Newton out there.
I'm with you, Mike Rob, but we do know at the quarterback position, if you lose, you get all the blame. It just happens, and they're going to blame it all on Cam. Yeah, we can say this and say that, but they're going to blame it all on Cam. But with that being said, Super Cam is going to deliver, and Bill Belichick is going to find a way to not get eliminated. I got the Patriots in this game, 24-21.
I'll give you one guess who I have winning this game. It's the Dolphins, 27-25 will be my final for that one. All right, guys, thanks. And listen, James Jones, I was tweeting you yesterday about yet another correct prediction by you. You can keep your Thursdays, my friends, because I've made peace with it. You know why? Because in overall standings, I still have a 6-pick lead to remain in first place. David Carr right behind me. And Rob, just 1 pick behind Michael Robinson there. James Jones in fourth place. All right, James and David, let's pick another game here. The Eagles are on the brink of elimination when they face the Cardinals on Sunday. James, who you got in this one?
You know what? I love the way Jalen Hurts looked last week. Philadelphia came out with a victory. But listen, too much Kyler Murray, too much Hopkins. The Cardinals are going to win this ball game 35-31. I do think it'll be close. But I like Kyler and the Cardinals in this game, making a push for that playoffs.
Yeah, I like that too. I think that what Jalen showed last week is something they can build on, and they'll have a little bit of energy going into this thing because of that. But I think that once you show what you have, and in that offensive scheme, the Cardinals are going to be too good. And I agree with Kyler Murray, just too dynamic. They've been on a little bit of a skid. They're going to figure this out right now and get this thing done.